Good day, this is Professor Will, CBMD PhD. Today is Monday, March 4, 2019. It is 12:51, 45 seconds Eastern Standard Time. And I'm in the middle of my readout for optics, so let me begin. Length focal, distance between the second principal plane of an optical system and the image of small, infinitely distant light sources. Length back focal, BFL, distance from the vertex of the back surface of the lens to the rear focal point. Length equivalent focal, EFL, distance from a principal point to its corresponding principal focal point, the focal length of the equivalent thin lens. The size of the image of an object is directly proportional to the equivalent focal length of the lens forming it. Length front focal, FFL, distance from the principal focus located in the front space to the first principal point. Lens, transparent optical element with two opposite major surfaces of which at least one is convex or concave in shape and usually spherical. The major surfaces are shaped so that they change the degree of convergence or divergence of the transmitted rays. Lens Bertrand, small convergent lens between an objective and eyepiece that focuses an image of the upper focal plane of the objective onto the focal plane of the eyepiece. It is used with polarized light to examine the interference figure and also to verify centering size and uniform illumination of an aperture. Lens Bitoric, lens with both surfaces shaped in a toric or cylindrical form. Lens Cartesian, lens, one surface of which is a Cartesian oval that produces holoplanodic condition. Lens compound, lens composed of two or more separate pieces of optical material which may or may not be cemented together. A common form of a compound lens is a two-element objective, one element, being a converging lens and the other a diverging lens. The combination of suitable optical materials reduces aberrations normally present in a single lens. Lens concentric, usually a single-element optical component in which the centers of curvature of the surface coincide. Concentric lenses thus have a constant radial thickness in all zones. Lens condensing, lens or lens system of positive power used for condensing radiant energy from a source onto the pupil of a lens. Lens conical, lens with a surface that is conical instead of spherical, that is often used as an axicon. Sometimes the surface is a portion of a side of a cone resembling a cylinder with progressively increasing curvature from one side to the other. Lens converging, also known as convergent positive convex and collective lens, a lens that converges an incident bundle of rays. One surface of converging lens may be convexedly spherical and the other plano-convex. Both may be convex, double convex, biconvex, or one surface may be convex and the other concave converging meniscus. Lens cylindrical, lens with cylindrical surface. By combining cylindrical and spherical surfaces, an optical system can give a certain magnification in a given azimuth of the image and a different magnification at right angles in the same image plane. Such a system is called anamorphic. Lens field, positive lens that collects the chief rays, field rays, of image-forming bundles and passes them through the exit pupil of the system. A field lens is usually located at or near the focal point of the objective lens. The field lens increases the size of the field that can be viewed with any given eye lens diameter. Lens Fresnel, flat lens with concentric rings cut or molded into one face. They are often used as field lenses. Lens meridian, of any line drawn on a lens from edge to edge that is perpendicular to the optical axis. Lens pancreatic, synonym for lens zoom. Lens piano, lens having no curved surface, or having two curved surfaces that neutralize each other so that it possesses no refracting power. Lens plastic, lens molded or fabricated from a transparent thermoplastic or thermosetting plastic material. Lens telephoto, objective lens system consisting of a positive and negative component separated from each other, having such powers and separation that the front vertex length of the entire system is small in comparison with the equivalent focal length. Such lenses produce large images of distinct objects without the necessity of a system with long length. Lens, thick lens whose axial thickness is so large that the principal points and the optical center cannot be considered as coinciding at a single point on the axis. Lens thin, the lens whose axial thickness is sufficiently small at the principal points, the optical center, and the vertices of the two surfaces can be considered as coinciding at the same axial point. Lens toric, lens with a toric surface on one face. A toric optical surface has a maximum power in one meridian and a minimum power in a perpendicular meridian. Lens zoom, optical system with movable components that change the focal length while maintaining a fixed image position. Thus the image size can be varied while leaving the optical system in a fixed position, sometimes called a pancreatic lens. Light polarized. Plane polarized light is a light beam whose electric vectors vibrate at a single plane containing the line of propagation. If each electric vector can be broken into two perpendicular components that have equal amplitudes and that have differ in phase by 1/4 wavelength, the light is said to be circularly polarized. Circular polarization is obtained whenever the phase differences between the two perpendicular components is any odd. Integral number of a quarter of wavelength. If the electric vectors are resolvable into two perpendicular components of unlike amplitudes and differing in phase by values other than 1, 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, 1, etc., wavelengths of light beam is elliptically polarized. Light rays. Normal to light waves that indicate the direction of light travel, usually indicated as lines and arrows. Light velocity. Speed of monochromatic light waves, or phase velocity. The velocity of light in vacuum is 299,792.5 kilometers or 186,000 miles a second. Light white radiation having a spectral energy distribution that produces the same color sensation to the average human eye as average noon sunlight. Magnification. Lateral magnification is the ratio of the linear size of the image to that of the object. Angular magnification is the ratio of apparent size of the image seen through an optical system to that of the object viewed by the unaided eye. Angular magnification is often used as a synonym for magnifying power. Magnification empty. Magnification that does not produce any new detail in the object. Excess magnification. Magnifier. Lens or lens system that forms a magnified virtual image of an object placed near its front focal point. Magnifiers are also referred to as loops, symbol microscopes, or magnifying glasses. The magnification of magnifiers range from approximately 3x to 20x. Magnifier binocular, a pair of decentered lenses, one or four each, that focuses on a single object as a magnifier. Magnifier binocular, single magnifier lens system used with both eyes simultaneously. Magnifier illuminated magnifying lens assembly with a lamp for illuminating the view object. Meniscus, lens having one convex surface and the other concave. Meniscus converging lens with one convex surface and one concave. Micron, unit of length in the metric system equal to 0.00 millimeter. Millidiopters, unit of metric measure equal to 0.001 diopters. The power of the lens in millidiopters is the reciprocal of its focal length in kilometers. Millimicron, unit of length in the metric system equal to 0.001 microns. It is also equivalent to 10 angstroms. Mirror, smooth plane or curved surface reflecting light, usually a thin coating of silver aluminum on the substrate constituents the actual reflecting surface. When the surface is applied to the front face of the substrate, the mirror is termed front surface mirror. Mirror aspheric, mirror with ellipsoidal, parabolic, or other curvature for use of reflecting systems where radiation not transmitted by refractive materials is required. Mirror mansion, negative meniscus lens whose second or convex surface is silvered. By carefully choosing the radii, spherical aberration can be corrected. Mirror paraboloidal, concave mirror that has the form of a paraboloid of revolution. The paraboloidal mirror may consist of only a portion of a paraboloidal surface through which the axle does not pass and is known as off-axis paraboloidal mirror. All axial parallel light rays are focused at the focal point of the paraboloidal with spherical aberration, and conversely, all light rays emanating from an axial source at the focal point are reflected at the bundle of parallel rays without spherical aberration. Paraboloidal mirrors are free from chromatic aberration. Mirror pellicle, thin plastic membrane cemented to a rigid supporting ring. It may be lightly metallized to act as a beam splitter, and it is so thin that no image doubling is perceptible. Mirror, spherical, concave or convex mirror with a spherical surface. They are less expensive than aspheric forms that perform equally well in non-imaging systems. Mirror, front surface, optical mirror on which the reflecting surface is applied to the front surface, first surface of incidence of the mirror instead of the back. Mirror triple, three mutually perpendicular reflecting surfaces arranged like the inside corner of the cube. The triple mirror may be constructed of solid transparent material in which the transmitting face is normal to the diagonal of the cube, or it may consist of the three plane mirrors supported in a precisely constructed framework. The triple reflector has a constant deviation of 180 DEG for all angles of incidence, so that a ray of light incident from any angle is reflected back parallel to itself. Such systems are also known as corner cube reflectors or retrodirective reflectors. Modulation variation of luminance across the image of sine wave object. Modulation transfer function Mtf, a merit function characterizing optical system in terms of image contrast at various frequencies. Specifically, the Mtf quantity is the ability of optical system to transfer the contrast of an object to the image formed by the system. Monochromatic, composed of one color. Monocular, pertaining to one eye. Mounting eccentric lens mounting, consisting of eccentric rings that may be rotated to shift the axis of the lens to a prescribed position. Movement diopter, adjustment of the eyepiece of an instrument to accommodate eye sight variation of individual observers. The axial distance through which the eyepiece must be moved to provide a convergence of the rays emerging from the eyepiece of 1. Diopter is calculated from the focal length of the eyepiece. If d is the required distance, it can be expressed 1 diopter % d in inches. Multifocal lens with 2 or more foci. N, symbol for index of refraction. It is usually used with a subscript to indicate the wavelength of light, e.g., nd or nd, and lowercase. Indicates the index of refraction for sodium light of n 5893A wavelength. Nanometer, measurement of wavelength equal to 10 to the power of -9m. Good day, this is Professor Will, CBMD, PhD. I hope you enjoyed listening to the reading. Have a great day.